In my last movie review, I promised I was going to review the Dark Knight trilogy, so hopefully I deliver. Alright guys, Batman Begins is the Christopher Nolan directed Batman reboot and origin story of the character of Batman, and hopefully the definitive and last one. We don't need an origin story in the next Batman movie. Don't shove it in. And I think it's pretty great. They did a great job with this franchise, but we're going to get onto that in the other reviews and everything. After the 1997 film Batman and Robin, Warner Brothers decided to cancel the next Batman sequel and reboot it in 2005 with Christopher Nolan at the helm. And I believe he directed Memento before this. I'm not completely 100% sure on that, but man, I think they did a great job with what they were given. This is kind of a simple story about how Batman became Batman and also him becoming Batman at the end of the movie. And one thing I love about this franchise is next movie, he is Batman. He's not learning how to be Batman, and then the next movie, they reset the clock to where he's learning how to be Batman still. At the end of this movie, he definitively feels like Batman, and that's great in my opinion. Like, one thing I hate about some of these comic book movies is they do reset the clock on the characters. Yeah. Yep. I think Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon is the definitive Commissioner Gordon. I think he does a great job. Does his accent slip sometimes? Yeah, when he's yelling at people and everything. And I think he actually does a great job at playing the likable Commissioner Gordon who likes getting his hands dirty sometimes. Not Commissioner Gordon in this movie, though. He is Detective Gordon, I believe. I don't exactly know. I wasn't paying attention too hard to what his position is, but I think he does a great job in the movie, and I buy Batman and Commissioner Gordon's relationship. Not too many people talk about this. I buy their chemistry really good. The one thing I can commend the writers and directors of directing, I feel like Bruce Wayne's friendships in this trilogy, they're strong and very well. Because we have Bruce Wayne as Batman with Commissioner Gordon. I think that's a strong relationship between the two of them, trying to stop crime and everything. Bruce Wayne and Alfred's really great. I think it's really great. You know, he has to learn some things from Alfred sometimes, but Alfred's always there with him 100%, telling him to never give up and do what you got to do, man. And also giving him some life lessons at the same time. Lucius Fox, I buy their relationship because, you know, I think at first Bruce Wayne saw this kind of sad guy in the technologies department who was helping him out, being nice and everything. He's like, you know what? Take over Wayne Enterprises. You're a good guy. If I was to say the weakest character in this movie, it is Rachel Dawes. She's kind of acted blandly by Katie Holmes in this movie. I think she did what she could, and the writing was not too strong on her. But I buy the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Rachel. It's just nothing too special, you know what I mean? Yeah. I love Liam Neeson in this movie. I'm sorry. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You know, I can understand. He's kind of at the base, he looks like a generic villain and everything, but I love why he sieges Gotham. I mean, I don't remember if this is how they explained it in the movie, but how I took it was basically, what it was after Bruce Wayne's training was almost done, and they have to siege Gotham for him to become a member of the League of Shadows. He says no, and then Liam Neeson shows up at the end, and the twist is he's Ra's al Ghul. I think that's great. Basically, what I took from it was that Liam Neeson was sieging Gotham not for no reason or anything, but because Bruce Wayne was being a dick to him, and he knew Bruce Wayne was still alive, and he wanted to take over Gotham and turn it into a big wasteland of terrible shit. And I love Liam Neeson. I think he's a strong villain. I mean, one thing I can commend this franchise is they have strong villains and strong characters and strong writing until the last one. Yeah. Liam Neeson, thumbs up. Scarecrow, that guy is great. I don't know his name exactly. I know he's in 48 weeks later. 48 months later. 48 weeks later. 48 days later. There we go. I couldn't even get the damn title right. I think he's great. It's the perfect amount of crazy / he's not too crazy, you know what I mean? And his motivations aren't too clear on why he's doing this, besides he makes fears toxin because he's a crazy guy. But I think that the movie didn't need any more character development for why he exactly wanted to be the Scarecrow and everything. I might be getting that wrong. I might have missed something in the movie, but yeah. So, stories, yeah, like I said, very simple. It's the origin story of Batman training through the first half of the movie and everything. And I thought they did some neat character elements with Bruce Wayne's death, parents' death. He's trying to talk to the guy and before he got shot. Like, hey, it's cool, man. You don't have to be. And then he gets shot, and then you learn that Falcone, I believe it is, was the one. And it's so satisfying because they built it up. It's so satisfying when Bruce Wayne takes out Falcone and puts him on that signal, make him the bat signal. I thought that was so fantastic, and it's amazing in my opinion when he says, "I'm Batman." I'm Batman. So guys, clearly I think this movie is great. I remember I just love this movie as much as I did when I saw it in the theaters. I think the CGI holds up very well. The bat suit's not the best in my opinion. It definitely gets better with the next movie. Christian Bale, great. Gary Oldman, fantastic. I think he's one takeaway star from that movie. I'm gonna give also Liam Neeson. Let's give that guy a hand. He didn't just do the generic action hero thing. He's the villain and awesome. I'm gonna give Batman Begins a 8.5 out of 10. I guess I'm just a generic person when I say I really enjoy and love this movie. Yeah. Time for A Dark Knight to Rise. Oh, wait, wrong movie. Alright, The Dark Knight is the Christopher Nolan directed sequel to Batman Begins, and it's pretty amazing. This movie is really great and amazing, and I love it personally because it's a great film before having iconic imagery in it, and thank God. So basically why I love this movie is it's not just a Batman movie. It's an ensemble film about the characters that are from Batman lore and also handled very well their character traits and also their character storylines. Uh, let's go run down those storylines really quick. Bruce Wayne is still being Batman, stopping people at night, And the movie we kind of see Batman is sort of, kind of being phased out, not necessarily in the way you think, but uh, it's the introduction to Harvey Dent where things get shaken up for him. He's fighting for what essentially Batman can fight for, but not in the way Batman can fight for. Batman can take out criminals and everything, but he can't handle everything in the justice system. So Harvey Dent has that side down, and he takes in stops criminals and everything, and does a great job at it. And there's a great scene in this movie where he sits down with Rachel and Harvey Dent, and he's looking at him, listening to his ideologies and what he thinks about the justice system today and what he can do to help Gotham in the future. And he's looking at him like, this is what we need for Gotham. This is the guy that can save Gotham essentially. And this is why through the rest of the movie we see him supporting him, throwing a party for him and everything. But I think it's funny because when Batman starts thinking the city's not going to need me eventually, soon the Batman's going to be gone, shit goes down. Like the Joker comes in trying to fuck up Batman and also the justice system and everything and doing a fantastic job at that with his order and chaos. So yeah, shit goes down, and the rise and fall of Harvey Dent I think was executed very well. The Harvey Dent's character in the movie in general is great because we see him trying to save the city essentially, and he wants to join Commissioner Gordon and Batman's brigade on trying to stop criminals and everything. I think it did take Harvey Dent falling for Batman to realize he needs to still be Batman. Of course, he still took a break between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, and Harvey Dent in the movie, like I said, is great. I love him taking down criminals in the movie. I love his fall from grace when he is talking to the Joker in the hospital and Rachel dies. By the way, that scene where he's used as bait for the Joker, that's fantastic. A lot of people have said that that's when they thought the movie was going to end, and I rewatched it and I was like, yeah, this is like a climax of the movie. This is where it looks like it's going to end, and people were at the theater like, oh, it's only an hour and 30 minutes long? Oh, well. But kicks on for another hour, and it does a great job at it. And I still love Christian Bale as Batman, and I still love the voice and everything. I can still understand him clearly in this movie. It's the next one where the voice, once he said something and I didn't understand what the fuck he said. Ugh. Commissioner Gordon's storyline in this movie is great. I love his dynamic with Harvey Dent and also Batman, because he believes in the Batman as much as his son does, essentially, which I really liked in the movie. And basically, what it was Harvey Dent told Commissioner Gordon that, you have corrupt cops. I've seen them in court many times, apparently. And, how come you trust them, essentially? And that comes full circle at the end of the movie when Harvey and Rachel get stolen. Taken, I mean, not, I guess you could say stolen. But essentially, that story comes full circle at the end of the movie, and I love that these storylines, they converge on themselves at the end of the movie. Even though Joker's not at the end of the movie with Harvey, Batman, and Commissioner Gordon, his presence is there in Harvey because he did turn Harvey, and they're talking about him, and that was very great. The Joker storyline is he wants order and chaos, and he wants to destroy Gotham, and he wants to mess with the Batman, essentially. And I think they did a great job with him not just being a wacky, zany character who went crazy or anything. No, there's no explanation exactly on why he's doing this except for order and chaos. And he doesn't come off too wacky and zany like the Jack Nicholson Joker. And I think they did a great job with that. So I'm going to talk about some of the side characters. I think Lucius Fox, Bruce Wayne and Lucius Fox chemistry is very well. It's still built off from the last film, and they're buddy buds. And I think his dynamic. I think Alfred and Bruce Wayne's dynamic in this movie is better than the first movie because he gets to learn a little life lesson from him, and also when Alfred is talking to Bruce, talking to even what's her face, Rachel Dawes, he's fighting for what Bruce Wayne does, and he's right, essentially. And I think he's a great butler and a great friend, or even father figure, if you'd like to argue that. That's great. And unfortunately, the weakest character in this movie to me was Rachel Dawes. I'm sorry. I'm not saying she's a terrible character. I'm not saying she was amazing, but I'm going to say she was good. Nothing too special. I bought her as a person. There's just a lot more outstanding, performances in this movie. I mean, I did like the recasting because she's not bland. But there's a confusing scene in this movie to me where Bruce Wayne. It's because the story needed it. Bruce Wayne says, "Will you still be with me after me being the Batman, like you said you would in the first movie?" And then she's like, "Yeah," and kisses him. And then clearly she clearly wants to be with Harvey Dent. So why didn't she just say no? I can't. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was weird to me. Yeah, Rachel. So anyway, guys, there's one other complaint I have for this movie. It's the action. I can clearly see sometimes that that Christian Bale isn't punching someone. He's like air punching. You know what I mean? Air punching someone like a stunt or something. It's like a stunt show. It's like Power Rangers or something. But yeah, otherwise, this movie is amazing. This movie has great storytelling. This movie has great cinematography. I like the colors in the movie, actually, and sometimes this movie looks beautiful. Um, and I love that there's consistency in the deaths and also what gets destroyed and stuff in this franchise. When people die, they die. They don't come back. They hardly even get mentioned, except for Rachel, because she gets mentioned in the next movie. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I'm gonna give Batman the Dark Knight, The Dark Knight a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, this movie, like the last, holds up very well, and this really is the Empire Strikes Back of the Batman franchise. That end monologue between Gary Oldman and Batman is fantastic. Batman's running off because he's no longer a hero that the city thinks he is. He's a vigilante again, and I thought that was great. Uh, it's just so inspirational, that end scene, because it's been built up to that, and they even show in seconds before that Bruce Wayne is the hero the city needs, but the one it doesn't deserve. And God, that just struck me on like a whole new level, and I thought it was great. Let the games begin, Dark Knight. Alright, The Dark Knight Rises, the sequel to the sequel of the reboot. Did this movie live up to the hype of the last one? A groundbreaking film to the comic book genre and change the level of how we see comic book movies and how we should handle comic book properties now, and how a lot of people try to copy and mimic this movie, and does it live up to the hype? Does it just continue the story like it should, and not try to be anything amazing, or try to be an amazing thing, or does it fail and suck? In my opinion, no, it doesn't suck. In my opinion, it continues the story very well. The first 2/3 of this movie, in my opinion, though, are not great, not amazing or anything, but they are good. They're, especially watching this after Batman vs Superman, this is like, it's so hard to describe it, but it's like you just ate an apple and then you had a vanilla sundae. You know what I mean? Batman vs Superman's an apple, but The Dark Knight Rises is a sundae. It's delicious and it's very nice, and you appreciate it for what it is. I appreciate this film for continuing the story of the Dark Knight in a great way, because it did not beat you over the head with what happened last night. It didn't try to shove the Joker down your throat by recasting him or anything. They respected Heath Ledger, and thank God for that. They had a really great villain, in my opinion, Bane, who was an iconic villain, in my opinion, and they did a great job with the villain in this kind of faux realistic world. In my opinion, Anne Hathaway is just okay, nothing particularly great. I think they did a good job capturing Catwoman, but they didn't go 100% with her character, and I don't think she was in the movie enough. I did love Joseph Gordon-Levitt, though. I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the movie, him taking on the mantle and everything, and I love Bruce Wayne's interaction with him and their kind of chemistry with each other, and how the cowl gets tossed down to him, and yeah. And Gary Oldman, I think, is great. He's very frail in this movie, trying to recover from Bane capturing him and taking him down the sewer and going down a little slide of water. Slip and slide. Yeah. Alfred's great in the movie. I think this is the first time in the franchise where Alfred said, no, you can't keep doing this. Back when you were Batman and younger, you were talking about one day getting over this and stopping being Batman, and now you just want to go back there and you want to be Batman. And that's what he was afraid of, him wanting to be Batman, not because he had to be Batman. He didn't have to be Batman. I love how it is peace times and everything in this movie, and then it just goes to shit as soon as Bane shows up. A lot of people say this is the Joker's plot, but done 10 times better than Joker. No offense to Joker. He was a great villain and everything. No one has said that he's a terrible villain or anything, but they're saying they took his idea of wanting to make the city a playground for villainy and taking whatever you want and everything, and actually did it, and I think they're right. Because Bane actually did make the city a playground for villainy and people going around killing each other and doing whatever the hell they wanted. They didn't have to answer to anyone if they killed anyone, except for Scarecrow, by the way. Nice cameo. And like I said, the first 2/3 of this movie, really, I was like, it's good, and the last third actually made me say this movie's great, because I love the ending to this movie. I love how Bruce Wayne's legacy lives on. I love how Batman's legacy lives on, and I love Commissioner Gordon still being commissioner, and I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt taking on the mantle of Batman, and yeah. Oh, with that said, I'm gonna give Batman the Dark. Why do I keep doing this? I keep saying Batman. It's because Batman vs Superman just came out. I'm gonna give The Dark Knight Rises 8 out of 10. This movie's a lot of fun, and if you're definitely marathoning these movies, you shouldn't leave them out, unless you fucking hate this movie, because I completely understand. I would not argue with you if you said this was the weakest and not a good Batman film or anything. I'll definitely argue with you on The Dark Knight, though. Man, I got to sit through all 3 of these movies when they came out. Fucking awesome. Nostalgia. Is it weird that I really like Christian Bale as Batman? I don't know. Maybe it's because he's my Batman. I got to see all 3 of his movies in theaters. I didn't get to watch the Michael Keaton movies in theaters, but I did watch them as a kid on tape and everything, and enjoyed that. Yeah. Am I wrong? I don't know. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review, and later. Watching these three movies really brightened my day. This complex storytelling. It's what I said I wanted from Batman versus Superman, and what I've been crying for. It's not like I've never seen these movies before, but I have not seen them in years, and I kind of forgot what they were and what they were like and how they were. And I'm never gonna mistakenly not do that again. I'm not gonna skip and watch these movies every like month or so or every year or something like that. I'm gonna try and make an annual thing and rewatch these three movies. Yeah. Now, on to the more arguably better franchise, and let's just say a little hint here is I will return in the Avengers. Ah, shit, I think I gave it away.